Damn, elections. Oh boy.
You just came from voting.
Yes, I did.
Vote or die.
Like I said, I'm just encouraging everyone to do their duty and, quoting Jon Stewart, but whoever wins, the work doesn't stop. We wake up again tomorrow and every day afterward is still another day and another, you just have to keep on moving. So, yeah, glad I was able to vote and here we are. And now try not to pay attention to like social media or the news just because
I'm trying to watch the news. That shit is entertaining, bro.
nah. I feel like, we've been there before where we've watched the elections. I remember where we were like 4 years ago and like even 8 years ago in 2016, because I remember
Yeah.
we were watching the elections in Leaf. And
Where were we at 4 years ago? I remember the Leaf one.
I want to say, I think we were in Ryan's also, but yeah, like,
Really?
yeah, it was a crazy time then and it's still a crazy time now. But I feel like politics kind of stressed me out. So the last thing I want to think about is that. And I just want to figure out ways to unwind.
I don't even want to talk about it because it's all been just so hyped for like the past 4 years. And it's just never stopped with all the madness in the news. But my boss said, and she's a big Trump supporter, she's a big Republican, that she is more excited for the elections to come. So then people don't care about it anymore for like a good while. Like,
oh, yeah.
They just want it to end type shit, you know?
Well, because it's not, people hype it up to be like the most important day in the world. And I just watched a skit off SNL where like John Mulaney was kind of like he was actually roasting himself, I guess, or he was like playing someone who's getting roasted about like who makes this as the most important day, of our time, when every election is that too. It's like, again, this is the most important day in our lives up until this very point. But the same things get thrown every 4 years. So I guess not to take away from the seriousness of casting your vote and having your voice be heard. Absolutely. But we tend to kind of infuse this sense of like, it's a little too much. Again, it is important that we vote, but it's not the end of it. Like, again, we're still going to have to work and still have to do living after all of this. I just want it to be over so then these spheres of like, talking can end and we actually focus on other things or focus on the more serious things. Like, let's actually keep on working towards it.
All right. So what do you want to focus on? I don't give a shit about talking about politics. I mean, you personally know how my position, but I don't really care to talk about it on the podcast.
Same. I don't feel like talking about it either, just because, again, like politics is always like crushed eggshells. And, right now I'm just focusing on, again, what's coming up for like Thanksgiving. In 2 weeks is like my birthday. And just, again, I have other things
They
to
know.
think about.
They've heard this the last
we've said
fucking
that.
episodes.
Yeah. So,
yes.
So I'm just going to focus again on they like Thanksgiving, Christmas, like other things that I want to do, just because those are like the next time periods of vacation and also just outside of work. And
so what about them?
well, we're doing a Friendsgiving, right?
I've been kind of like on the fence about it as the days goes by for different type of reasons for the Friendsgiving. Ultimately, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I think for simplicity's sake and for everyone enjoying the event, knowing how many Friendsgivings we've done before, remembering specifically year after year the energy of the place, I'm just gonna go to one of these places, either Roan or fucking Whole Foods or whatever, the grocery store, and get like a package of just shit to reheat and have most of the food, 80% of the food done already. Cause bro, don't fuck around. As much as you are helping me for this event and you are fucking hype about cooking, I remember year after year, the people who cook during this event at the end of the night are pissed as fuck. They're just exhausted. They never have the same amount of fun and they never get to stop looking at the cooking section. When really at the end of the day, Friendsgiving is not about the food. It's about the friends. Yes, fine, cook, whatever. It is a moment of people coming together and I don't want anybody missing out. That's like having your homeboy as the photographer of your own fucking wedding. No, they are part of the event. Come on, baby.
Also, well, I don't know. I mean, no, I appreciate that you bring that up because there are plenty of times where like I'm doing stuff and I feel like I'm also just kind of burnt out. Also, I don't know, maybe I'm also the type of person that just feels like he needs to be doing something all the time. maybe I need to like
There will
let
be shit to
go.
do. Don't worry.
Yeah,
There'll be
I
a
feel
lot
like
of
I
shit to
need
do.
to learn how to let go of like the clutch on that one because
Bro, I just want you to push shit and heat it and follow the instructions and not have to fucking dice shit. Nobody gives a fuck that you can dice shit. They know year after year. Yeah, I would rather have you in full mode after taking a Celsius and then enjoying people's company. Because I'm telling you, man, the hardest thing about this event or hosting anything, okay?
Mhm.
And feel me if what I'm saying is true, bro. For anyone who's hosted events their entire life, there comes a point in your life where it's so hard to invite people. And you're very particular. You don't want it to be a fucking sausage fest. Don't come on now. You never want an event to be just a sausage fest. You know the deal if you plan
Mhm.
parties. You know, it's like everyone's busy. There's other Friendsgivings. And as you get older, relationships kind of thin out, circles get smaller. Not a complaint. It's just the truth. It's so hard to get people together. We're already all together. I want everyone participating. You know what I mean? That's all. Bro, don't get me wrong. There's going to be mad shit to do. But I don't want you to the point where you are now staining your clothes for some bullshit that, like, they don't even care. They just want weed. They want alcohol. They want good times and a little bit something to munch on. Who's trying to be fat? No disrespect. Come on now. But you know when you eat a lot at a party and you feel
Mhm.
gross? No one's trying to
Yeah.
feel gross.
That is true. Yeah. I feel like I'm
Come
less
on.
into like don't get me wrong, like I still like to indulge, but I feel like
Yeah.
I don't really I can't eat as gluttonously as I used to. Like, you know, those sandwiches from Christina's or Cherry Valley, like I feel like back when I was in college, I could eat like a whole hero. And now I kind of struggle just to finish a roll, which is basically half the size. So
If I
yeah, I'm
really
not trying
wanted
to
to, I could fucking eat that.
look,
If I
I could
really
crank
wanted to.
I could always crank out like 21-year-old Don in a heartbeat, but I think
Yeah.
on the normal, I also think to myself, "Damn, I'm gonna have to pay for this later. Like, I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to burn this calories." You know, I do miss the days where I could be a little bit more liberal about eating things so freely and not worrying about that later on. So yeah, I'm not trying to pig out either. You know, I am trying to enjoy
I
food and I like
know.
making really good food, of course.
And you make good
Yeah,
food. You make good food. You make good desserts. Come on.
yeah.
We know.
I appreciate it too, though, that again, there is also a time where you're so focused on the event itself that you're not present at the event too. And that sucks. Like, you know, you hold this whole event and you're not even there to kind of like enjoy the spoils of it, which I am very guilty of. I am so guilty
Bro,
of that.
remember when we were hosting parties in college and towards the
Mhm.
latter half of that decade, I started getting into DJing
Yeah.
and we were pretty much DJing parties, which was fun. But I loved parties because I loved being in a party. Do you know what I mean? When you're fucking
Yeah.
DJing, you're so focused on the DJing aspect. When I say that the last 10 years have been a blur, it really has been a blur. I don't have any notable things. For me, I would just love to
Mhm.
host. I love to walk around, finagle, shenazzle with people, go left, right, bounce from party to party, like group to group to group. That's me. That's when I'm hot. Because I was DJing, it took me away from those moments. And you could really make some really cool, lasting moments. I remember this past weekend, we just went to two parties. And don't get me wrong, we were very present in it. And I'm glad that we have this self awareness now that whenever we are at a party, that we do try to be present at the party, energy willing. What did we do on when did we hang out? Friday?
Friday and Saturday.
What did we do Thursday? Sorry.
Thursday went to one of my old friends' just like party in Brooklyn. So we went to that one, like
Refresh
all
my
the way in
memory. What the fuck?
Stella's party.
Oh, the one that I overheated, bitch.
Yeah, dude. Yo, I'm telling you, yo, it was not just you, but it was really hot there. There are times I'm talking to people and I'm legit ready to like pass out too.
I almost died at this party. And I thought, hey, maybe I was a little too crossfaded. Maybe I was a little too stunted. And then I also had, what did they have?
Jungle juice.
The jungle juice, the jungle juice. And I haven't had jungle juice in so long. So I was like kind of excited. I thought I killed myself that night. But tell me not, that apartment was hot as fuck. It was a different type of feeling. It didn't feel regular.
No, like, no, you were right. Again, when you're like searching for cold air, like that was fine. Again, there's a whole bunch of people who went outside. And again, this is not even like anything with the host. It was really hot. There's a lot of people. It's the third floor of an apartment complex. Like it's, of course, heat and humidity is just going to retain itself so well, you know? So
Bro,
yeah.
yeah.
And it
was a
we're
good
not
time
drinking
though, bro.
water. Like it was a great time, but the jungle juice was hidden. You know, it was pretty hot. You know, and yeah, like we're not drinking as much water as we're basically like sweating off. You know, so yeah, seeing you kind of like hunched over at the fan,
Dude, I was a goddamn mess.
but you
bitch.
were fine.
In my
dude,
head,
'cause-
I was like, oh my God. Don invited me out to go to this fucking party. And I always try to have like everyone look presentable. I was fucking dead, bitch. I like how you describe it. I was searching for cold air because I didn't know what I was doing. I was there, totally present. Pause. I bent over because it was so fucking hot. I needed to
Dude.
rest my head on something. And the closest thing was the table. I went down.
I bet the
Right?
fan was still pretty good though. I mean, again,
Oh,
when
the
you have,
fan was
like,
almighty.
because you're also near the window, so the fan is intaking the cold air, so it's like it's giving you life again.
I begged God. I remember praying in my darkest moment. And I remember saying, oh my God, just allow every fiber of my being, like from my very skin to each hair on me, that I'm not gonna fucking pass out and crash out on this bitch.
Oh, that's
Woo! I made it, bro.
That's me usually when like I get plastered, but I'm praying to God. I'm asking, just do not let me throw up in this damn car.
Right?
I do not want to be that guy. Like, and I'm sorry if I do, I will pay for everything, but please let me, if I am about to throw up, let me get it outside of the car.
Dude. I thought I was the only one. We did it.
I think you had nothing, to worry about. You were clean, you're good. No one got hurt. No one got nothing to clean up either. It was just really hot. And again, I think a lot of other people were seeking cold air as well. So
What did we do Saturday?
my friend Kristen, she invited us, to pregame at her place, and then we go check out Union Hall right near Williamsburg, and it was a lot of fun. We were playing shot roulette, which I haven't played since
Dangerous game.
college days, but the shots weren't even that bad. You know what I mean? Like they weren't even. I feel like we were far more dangerous back in the day, but not understating that it still was a fun and still a bunch of
Dude,
different shots to take. You know what I mean?
that event was so intimate. I remember I was telling somebody like how my weekend was, right? And I
Mhm.
remember saying my favorite event was the one on Saturday because it was just so intimate. Out of the first 2 days, don't get me wrong, I had a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
fun. We had fun, but there was something about having a calm night, an intimate night. Because come on now, even though the shots are there and the theatrics are there, it wouldn't be the same as like, okay, we spent 2 hours playing that game. Imagine if
Mhm.
we just did 2 rounds of shots all together.
Mm.
Boom, right? Really, really hit you hard. But it slows down the drinking process to allow a little bit of I'm bumbling, a little bit of flirtation. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I said that. I don't know.
No, it was
I
a
should've
good
never
night. I
said
mean,
that.
again, I think it's great that we had like 2 Halloween parties with like completely different vibes.
Oh my
And
God.
both great in their own way. But yeah, having that one where it's just again, because we started off all like playing a game together and just hanging out, and then eventually progressing out to going to like I guess Union Hall was kind of a club slash beer garden of sorts. I don't know, like,
You
but it was
know, Union Hall's kind of cool because I thought in the beginning it was a lounge. And then in my head, I was like, this is kind of like the lounge this is like Black Flamingo. Is that the one where Shimmy worked out? Black Flamingo?
yeah, like that.
But as you kept on walking in, it was like an outdoor bar. And then like all of a sudden there was a club in there too.
It's
I was
like a
like, what the fuck is
it's a
going
three
on?
part bar, which
Yeah.
the last time I went to like a bar that had like three types of environments was like, oh man, this is probably dating me, like Pacha or like Hudson Terrace or something like that, where you have like three floors, but what like the top floor is like hip hop, the like middle floor is just like a standard bar lounge, and then you go downstairs and that's where all like the EDM people are hanging out, which kind of was the same thing. Again, if you go into like the first one, they're playing like some pop hits. You go outdoors, there is like some chiller vibes, and then if you go inside the room that we were at, they're playing like again all the modern stuff, EDM, like it's just bumping in there.
In my defense, as much as I wanted to have fun and I could be crazier, the bodega did not have Celsius. So we were kind of fucked. Come on, tell me not. When we are out and we drink Celsius, as compared to if we go out and there is no Celsius, you're dragging your fucking ass. Maybe it was that like 20-minute walk. It was less than that, to be honest, to get there from the apartment.
That was part. No, that was part
Still
of it because we were walking out for like
dying.
it was cold. It was
Yeah.
cold and it was refreshing, but then it's a bit of a walk, so we're also kind of burning energy. In my adulthood, I appreciate a Celsius over. I would usually do a coffee back then, but a Celsius at least gets me going without feeling the ickiness or like the jitteriness
Telling
of
you,
coffee,
Celsius
right?
Tech. I tell you, coffee gives you bad breath. There's a chance you can spill it and it gets all over your fucking clothes. It stinks you. It stains your teeth. No disrespect to coffee. I love coffee. But when you want to go out and you want to present yourself good, the Celsius gives you just enough bump. It doesn't give you that Red Bull flavor, which is kind of like OD nowadays, right? And that Red Bull rush that fucks your head up, man. It's just the perfect amount of caffeine.
I'm just surprised that the deli that we went to didn't have it.
That deli was kind of fucking scary, yo. What are those plastic guys? When you go to the groceries back in the day, right?
Uh huh.
And you put the 25 cents in and then you flip it. Isn't there like a character of all gang members, like Latino gang members or some shit? You know what I'm talking about? Every character, every person in that bodega was a different fucking character.
Yeah. Also, it was mad expensive for like that 12 pack of what
How
do you
much?
call? It was 36. I got charged 36, which we didn't. I don't think we even got into, which is fine. It doesn't matter. Like, it was given to the party, right? But like,
Oh, no. I had two.
oh, you did? Okay, cool. At least it got, it was, drunken.
And I felt ridiculous too, man. I'm not gonna lie. I wore the P. Diddy White Party costume 3 nights in a row. And funny enough, I washed it every single night that I went out. Boom, boom, boom. So it would be clean as hell.
Mm.
Somewhere around the third day, I felt really ridiculous. Like this, I couldn't really be myself. So I don't know.
Nah, dude.
I didn't have a
think
fucking Celsius. That's what it was.
we didn't have. I think it's just because you didn't have the Celsius tech, and the Celsius again, especially if you're like working, working all winter, shining all summer. Yeah, like especially when you're like just busy with stuff, and then you're like going out at night, like you need that little pick me up. So I'm with it, dude. I feel like the Celsius would have helped, for sure. It is what it is, right? So it was a fun weekend, all the same. Like, I had a lot of fun with everybody and just, yeah, it was just a bunch of good vibes for Halloween. And now we're in November and I'm looking forward to just coming through this month. So,
What do we
and
have in November? November. Oh my goodness, God. My mother's birthday was last week. My father's birthday is this week. My brother's birthday is upcoming last. Your birthday, which we've been talking about, I feel like we've been talking about it for like fucking hella long.
you're right.
Um,
I've been bringing it up quite a lot.
which I anticipate. Oh my God, I'm actually like looking forward to that. That's in 1 week or 2 weeks. Let me get mentally
Uh,
prepared, you know?
A week and a half. Yeah. Like, cause it's going to be not this upcoming weekend, which is my actual birthday, but it's the following weekend because a lot of my friends weren't available. So I was kind of getting a little sad. I was like, oh man, like Does no one be able to come to my birthday? Also, I probably could have sent out the
Why did
invite
you think
earlier.
that, bro? Why did you think that? You invite mad motherfuckers. Why would you think that? That doesn't
I
even
don't
make any
know.
fucking sense.
Chaos thoughts just invading your mind, basically. Just chaos thoughts.
I think you're already like stacked out for the room, right?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
filled for
actually.
the room. You reserved the room, which I'm glad you got. To be honest, I got fucking scared because when I was telling you the location, I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, there's a chance I'm bigging it up and there's not even a free room.
Oh no,
Those
don't worry.
rooms go by so fast.
So the moment that you told me about that, I gave them a call, and they actually called me back like a couple times because, yeah, they're actually really good about that, and I appreciate Spot for
That's
this.
what I'm
But
talking about. That's the hustle right there.
I like how we've gotten way better at planning and all that stuff over the years, and I'm excited. Like
It's just good to
every
remember all the good places that we've been to in the past, right?
well, also I want to do something different. Again, a lot of this year has been about trying to do something a little different than what I've been doing. Not
Shake it up.
completely different, but shake it up a bit. Every year it's my birthday, and I tend to get myself destroyed because it's the only day in the year that I deem I can be
Destroyed.
irresponsible. This time I want to be there with people. Like, I don't want to get there at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then I blink and it's now 12 o'clock and I'm literally throwing up my guts.
Could be the possibility.
This time I want to be around everybody. Like,
Don't
I,
underestimate the power of water, bro. Drink
yeah,
water.
drink water. I want to
Nah.
last longer. And if by some miracle, not actually get destroyed. Like, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
be
yeah.
there to celebrate with everyone in a good way. And I'm just excited to have everyone together in the same room. And then after that, like, I think I put it 7 to 9. I'm willing to feel it out. But for those who are not into karaoke and want to come after that, like,
No,
I
yeah,
made
you
it
can go wherever
flexible.
you want. 7 to 9's not that long.
Yeah.
Do you know where you want to go after?
I figure we'll just start off at the bar afterward,
Yeah, yeah.
and just be able to like hang out and just
They do
chill.
have
And
a
then,
nice bar there, and usually, hopefully, it's not too packed, but they play hood music, and I love that shit. You know?
so that's kind of like my plan. It's like 7 to 9, get some good karaoke, and if people are all like really into it, and we can go for the extra hour.
Oh, they said with the possibility for an extra hour, because sometimes like they have somebody already booked there, like, and now you can't
I
have it.
think they gave me the possibility. From there, just see where the night takes us. Again, I'd be also down after like if it's another hour or two and I'm still like standing, get some food across the street. There's plenty of good food in K-Town.
There is.
So.
There is a bunch of food. While we were waiting for my friend to finish throwing up, we went to Yuri Jip, which
Worry
whenever
Jip is a
I go to Yuri
classic
Jip,
place.
I think of you. I
Really?
think of, yeah, because I remember you bringing my bitches back over at Yuri Jip, son.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Okay.
enough. I'm too turned up.
No, it's fine. No, honestly, and this is like I think my go-to place when it was like my go-to place. I felt it was like a
Yeah.
nice homey restaurant. You could kind of hang out for a long period of time, buy soju by the bottle, cans of Asahi, like, beers for a very good price. And especially on a college budget, this is like one of my go-tos. And so, yeah.
Remember the fucking place Janelle John Doe used to go to this joint that was upstairs?
Yeah.
Right? Have you been to that spot recently?
Not recently, but I remember
Dude,
that place.
You have to take a girl there. That has now become the new date spot.
What's it called?
I have no fucking idea. But you have to be careful because when you're on this elevator, there's actually 2 restaurants there. I don't want to suggest for you the wrong one, but the one that we had I think like Korean food mostly.
We had like fried chicken when we went that time with like, Janelle.
The vibe there is so nice.
I remember we got pretty plastered there too. So
I saw a doctor cheating on his wife with a fucking young piece. Not to expose him, but it could be anyone. All right. He was like, yo, baby, like, don't stop. Like, for real. It was outlandish. And I remember the person that I was sitting with, it was just so loud. You just heard it. You felt the energy. He ended up sitting next to her in between my friend. And my friend was like, what the fuck is going on? He's like whispering that bitch's ear. All right, never mind. That's all.
damn, I wanted to hear more about this story.
I know, but it was time to go because he was a little bit too drunk.
I go to K-Town not too often, but I've been there a few times and that place has popped up in my head. I just forget which building it is like located in.
It's in the
Like
corner, bro. It's the corner, but that's why it's easy to remember. It's like
on Fifth Avenue.
it's the corner across the street from the corner that looks like the Christmas stores. Like the whole entire corner
Okay, so
is
yeah,
all
that's
selling
the right
ghetto
corner.
shit
Yeah.
and like anime figures and shit. Across the street from that corner is where this ultimate date spot is. Take your next shorty low to it. That's all I'm saying.
I gotta find the name of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
They got this nice ice cream joint there. Also,
mhm.
they have Asian flavors. And I'm telling you, man, there is
Ah.
so many shorty lows there. For real. They go,
So-
they love that joint. They love the ice cream, you know? They love the ethnic ice cream.
So it's a date spot, or if you're looking for your next date.
Hopefully, if you have game and if you have balls and if you
That's
squeeze
true.
them.
Yeah,
right?
that is true. You know.
I know in the beginning of the podcast, we were saying, like, you know, we're still trying to morph it out and trying to give you guys the best product and also have a good time talking to each other and getting to know each other. And talking about the day to day and work is cool and fun and all, but it's always going to be there. Having the intention of talking and asking each other questions, I think, is a nice, enjoyable way and something that we should keep in mind, especially as a strategy when we have guests.
Mhm.
We have a guest on, but maybe they're not that talkative. Or, you know, maybe they might get buried between us, which you
Right.
kind of want to always have some sort of control. It's not, I'm not trying to sound presumptuous here that we can be giving away tips, but it's always just nice just to be curious and ask a question, right? And I think we don't do that enough.
I feel like there's a tendency to be a little concerned about how your answer is viewed. I reflect on how I used to talk, especially in previous iterations of like a podcast that we've done, right? And then even just in general, and these days I've embraced being a lot more open about how I am. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if they're going to ask me something, well, I want to give them literally what I think, what I feel.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think by doing this, I feel like I'm better at communicating. Is that, I think, the word that I'm looking for? Because I want to at least express how I feel and also learn how to be comfortable talking about things that I may not have been comfortable talking about. And as I build that confidence, now I don't feel inhibited and I could not only just be more candid, but I feel like we're actually building a conversation here. And so compared to other times, we're a lot more willing to put ourselves out there, especially the side of ourselves that is just like, yo, is
Oh,
that
you're
the
talking about
freaky
the
side?
events? You talking about the events that came out recently? Or are you talking about like even in the way that we're talking today?
A little bit of both. Yeah. A little bit of both. You know, just talking, like being able to actually talk rather than just be like, oh, how's your day? Oh, it's chill. Yeah.
You know, which kind of makes me think of relationships. And this could be a whole nother episode as well. Sometimes when you're in a relationship with someone for so long, for whatever reason, there comes to a point where you're not as excited to get to know more about them. And it's just such a shame because realistically, every day you can learn something new if you're curious enough and if you want to know and if you're social enough and you're accepting and unjudgmental. Like you could learn so much about a person. I think for whatever reason, with the way life is, you almost kind of stop exploring and getting to know other people. Weird.
That's no, that's valid. I feel like there's a sense of complacency is maybe the word, or like you're just comfortable with it, but then you know that complacency is also rooted with like maybe a sense of fear that like it might disturb the status quo, right?
I'm sure when you went to the parties and you were starting to talk to people and you wanted to give like a little bit, not more flavor, but you know, in the beginning, you're a little bit guarded about the type of answers and the type of responses you give. And then you feel, okay, green light, I can move a little further. I can add a little bit more color into the way that I talk. It comes to a level where like you kind of notice that like, oh, I went too far. They don't get me anymore, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of like it's weird. It's not in a sense that it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, but you know that the people that you are going to attract is always going to be from you and the energy that you exude out. If they like you, they like you. And if they don't, they don't. And just because they don't like you doesn't mean it's on you. You're just not that person for them. You know?
Mm.
I remember there was a little quote on Instagram that said, "Oh, what is a good friend?" He pointed out that it was kind of like a loaded question because they may not be a good friend to you, but they could be a good friend to somebody else. What would that make them? A good or bad friend? No, they're just not a good friend to you. So whoever you are is going to attract certain type of people in your life that are going to fuck with you, and it's going to expel people in your life that don't fuck with you at all. And that's the nature of it. And it has nothing to do on you. It's just things don't fit. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
that's a good point. I mean, again,
I don't even know why I was fucking talking about that. Why are we talking about
well,
that?
I think because we were talking about like how like talking in parties and also feeling like,
Oh,
you know,
communicating better. Yeah.
yeah, just communicating better. And
There you
no,
go.
so I guess bringing my version or like my side of it into like the
Yeah.
conversation. But the one thing that and just reflecting, I guess, reflecting on how I approach things, but I tended to default to just talking about work or my passion, right?
You and so many other people. But this is not
Right.
good.
And I remember also, I think, having like a well, I guess breaking the fourth wall moment with myself where I even admitted, like, damn, I feel like I'm that guy from Soul, like the Pixar movie Soul, where he's almost just talking about his passion and his career. And there's more to a person than just that, right?
Can I interject on you quickly, real quick? I'm
Hmm.
so sorry because I just don't want to lose it. Something
Yeah.
that I'm really, really insecure about is my height. It also would happen to be the one topic that would always come up into conversation when I was talking to a female.
Hmm.
Now, when you take those two facts correctly, whatever that you bring up is almost by default the thing that is important to you. So maybe for you, not to say that it is or it isn't, but there is, in a sense, a correlation to the fact that you bring up work often is for whatever reason, the subject of work, for whatever it is important to you. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
defining factor for some people.
There you
And
go.
how it defines you is even more subjective because they could define you in a negative way, or it could define you in a way that you feel like it's the only thing of relevance or offering that you have for other people at this moment, which I think that's a possibility. And that's me also, I guess, thinking about it in like that angle. But yeah, no, I feel like that portion is something that is important to you. And to what manner, I think is again just different per person, right? So yeah,
I
and
like that, Don. We did powers combined there. I
yeah,
like
and
that.
I was thinking to myself, and again, maybe it was just also the Jungle Juice talking, but I said to myself, man, I sound like the guy from Soul, where I don't want this just to be like I wanted to talk more about other things. So it's funny because as I'm talking with more people at the party, then I started talking about music, and music was something that again, it's not my career, it's not necessarily a passion, but I do love music, and I love so
Oh,
many
it's a
genres.
passion, bro. Don't play.
Yeah,
It
okay,
is
yeah,
a
yeah. But
passion in your life.
and it was nice just talking about music because it was something completely different than talking about my normal work stuff. Because I want to feel like there's more to me than just that.
Is there anything that you're watching right now?
Nothing yet. There are things on my docket, but nothing yet.
How have you been spending your time?
Been playing a lot of Death Stranding.
Oh my God, you haven't finished?
It's a game that I've like time dumped on.
You love it now?
Yeah, well, the other thing that I've been watching at work, while working on stuff, but I have it also like as like
No, I
idle
get you.
background music is One Piece.
Oh, okay, okay, bro. I was about to say.
Yeah,
No.
no, I don't not completely do anything, but that is kind of
Hey,
like part of it.
I know we were talking about moments where like everything shuts down for them and they can rest. I know a lot of them would be watching their favorite anime, watching their favorite show.
And it's something I just started. Like, I used to
Really?
briefly touching on both these IPs that I've like almost did a complete 180 with,
I'm only
right?
laughing at one of them, but it's
Yeah.
okay. Death
But
Stranding's cool, bro.
so with both of these, I shat on them, and I mean this like respectively because for Death Stranding, and I'm a big Hideo Kojima fan, right? I was like, why the fuck did he make like Amazon delivery boy like video game, right? This is him unhinged. This is what happens when you leave a director unchecked by like the powers that be.
It's a
giving him
stranding game. they
Yeah,
say.
a Stranding game, right? And same thing with One Piece. It's like, dude, I remember when this came out, I was also like back in like middle school. I kind of didn't start One Piece or Death Stranding because of my own biases, but I was looking for something different. I wanted a video game that was different than my shooters or my RPGs. One Piece, my friend told me this, and I think this is what got me hooked. He said, One Piece is the Odyssey of our time. If you've ever read the Odyssey or the Iliad, these are great epic, like, stories that have transcended time, right? So to have an epic like that and to be claiming that it's that, it's a bold statement. And now I want to know why.
Is it good though, bro?
It is.
How many episodes are there in total?
I think like 1300,
What are you on right now?
106.
Damn, I thought you were at least like 300.
As for Death Stranding, the videos that I watched referred to it similarly as like Dark Souls, right? Where it's a game that's punishing for you. And then you eventually come to that moment of like, aha, where then it clicks. The first portion of this game is just brutal because the traversal sucks. You're walking. And then after the first hour, you get through it and then you get your first bike. And now all of a sudden you're like zipping through different areas and bypassing the things that used to make it hard for you. Maybe that's a sense of accomplishment that Hideo Kojima's trying to get at. Maybe it's me being a glutton for punishment, or I've accomplished something despite insurmountable odds. I don't know. Maybe that's just part of like my personality, right? Just threading the eye of the needle that others can't do.
Did you not beat it already?
Yeah, like I'm at the tail end,
Man.
I think.
For
You
whatever
know.
reason, I thought you have already, and then you were just playing after. So I was
No,
like,
no, no.
damn, he must
Yeah.
really, really enjoy it.
How about you, dude? What are you into? Just
For me, the one thing that really gets me hyped up and motivated, even past the struggle of it all, because it's such a bitch to do, is adding listings to the store. Makes me feel great. Don't get me wrong, I avoid doing it because I hate doing it, but the act of completing it always makes me feel good. It's really not that bad. I should be able to do it more. It's just the forces that surround me are too strong. The party is too strong. The headaches from the alcohol are too strong. The girls are too fucking strong. You know me, man. I'm a man of my vices. But, dog, I think we
We
hit
all
the
are.
end of it. Mad love to you, man. I hope you have a very good week. We will see you next week. And it will be.
Christmas. Christmas. It's the first one I'm really excited for. And not that I haven't been excited, but I'm excited because I get to be here with you guys.
Dog, we will see you next week. Mad love. Peace. Mwah.